Alright fellas, it's Bear with Texas Bushcraft. I'm just doing the tabletop review of my mini fishing kit so you guys can actually see this a little bit clearer than what I had on the original version. So here's the tin. It's the Altoid small tin. I've got the two Ranger bands on it. They serve the purpose of actually using it for the reel system and to keep the container closed whenever it's in my pack. So take those two off. I'm going to set those off to the side. And we'll open up this container and show you what's inside here. Okay, so like I showed you in the original version, I got the instructions here. Let's see if I can get this to focus in a little bit better on this. There we go. Look at the instructions for the trout magnet, which is one of the lures on here, or in here. So that's that. Alright, so in here I've got the line. Like I said, it's about 75 feet of braided line. It's a 30-pound test, I believe. Put that over here. Alright, so in here also I've got the little grubs for the spinner bait. So we got two of each colors. I got the yellow and orange, neon yellow and orange, and then white with a red spot on it. So those right there. And then I've got two of the spinners. And this kit is it's set up to be more for two people in the bush, in case you have two people with you. Like for instance, my case, my wife and I, or my son and I, whenever he gets to be older. So this is the spinner. It's gold. It's got one of the grubs on it and the hook. It's small enough to fit in the container, so that's why I grabbed these. And I couldn't find any other ones that were small enough and gold, because I hear gold is really good for getting fish. So there's the white one with the red spot. Those right there. And then I've got these little ones that are more like grubs on a... Let's see if I can get that. There we go. More like grubs on a hook. So they got the gold head and then the grub on them, and the hook hangs out the bottom. It's got little... Split these bottom portions out. It's got the two little tail fins or whatever you want to call them. So I got those. And I got those in two colors as well. So I got the neon yellow ones, or neon yellow, neon green, whatever you call them, and then gold ones. And I've got two extra of each one of those in case I lose them while I'm out there. And then down here, right here, I've got the instructions for, what is this for? Oh, the hooks. So these are number 8 hooks, and it's just got a series of instructions on how to tie and set up your lines and that. This is in case something happens to me. My wife has a way to figure out how to do the fishing lines, or if I'm injured or whatever, she can figure it out on her own. So in here also, I'm going to dump this out real quick. So in here I've got several size, well, 2 different size actually, but I've got 2 of each of the clothespins, or safety pins, without the end piece here that connects so you can close it. And all I would do in the bush is either cut this little section off here. Let's see if I can get this back on. So I'd either cut this little bent section, or I'd bend it out and just shove it in the end. I'll show you. I've got the pole here. I'll show you a close-up of that as well. So there are some of the hooks. I believe it's 8 and... I want to say it's 8 and 6, but it could be 8 and 10 that I've got. I cannot remember which ones I grabbed. There's the hooks. I got several of those in there, so that way, if somehow or for some reason I do lose the lures that I have the hooks. At least I can dig up something or find some grasshoppers or something to put on there. So I've got these. I got swivels. I think I got 6 in here. And then I've got the eyelets here. So I got the swivels and the eyelets and then the hooks that are all going in this kit to be used. And like I said, it's designed. This one's designed for 2 people to use, or if you wanted, you could actually do more than 2 people as long as you brought more line, and you could fit more line in these kits. I just chose to do 75 feet because that was the extra amount that I had on the spool of fishing line. So put all this stuff back, and I'll be right back with you to show you the fishing pole portion. Alright guys, bears back. The kit that I actually used to make this fishing pole together is actually this exact kit. What I did was I have it set up so you can do it with 2 people. These kits. But inside it's got the sorry about that guys, you can hear my kid in the background. But it's got the safety pins and then the lures and that in there, with also the swivels and everything else is all in this system. It's just not as much in this one. So normally I'd have it like that. I'd have the line wrapped around it this way, and then I'd have the Ranger bands put around this direction to hold the line in place. So, but the Ranger bands and the line are both on the actual fishing pole, so I'm going to get those. I'll show you that real quick right now. So here's the reel system, and the line's all splayed out because it's been kind of moved around in the house right now. It hasn't been used. So right here is the Ranger bands. So right here is the Ranger bands, and they're holding on the actual reel portion. So that's not attached with anything other than the Ranger bands. Underneath that, I've got another piece of one of the nodules here that the bamboo has split in half. And if you look on the bamboo, there's this groove right here. So I have this groove pressed against one of the round sections on the bamboo. So the groove is on the bottom down here. And then I split it open so that way this reel sits in there, so it doesn't spin around on you while you're trying to use it. And it's duct taped in place. You could actually, if you wanted to bring extra Ranger bands, you could Ranger band it in place, but the duct tape works a little easier because you don't have to try to fit it around the end of the pole and tighten it up that way. So I just use the duct tape, and I carry that with me all the time. So I've got another piece of duct tape right here. It's holding down the initial portion of the line, so that way it would make it a little easier to wrap. And then turn this thing around real quick, see if I can get you on the other end of this thing. Alright, so here we go. This is the eyelet that I was talking about. So what you would use the safety pins for. So you take it and you shove it in the end down here, and then you would bend it up so it would make the end piece. And this actually bamboo pole actually split before I put it in there. So it made it a little easier for me to shove it in there. I just duct taped it in, and it's held pretty good. Like, it held pretty good while I was using it too. But then all down the ends here, you screw in those eyelets and run the line through it. Alright guys, so in order to cast this, what you would do is you would put your thumb here, you fling it just like you would a regular fishing pole, and instead of a reel, you'd let go of this. And it'll unspool pretty easily once you've spooled it on there. Alright, so it'll go out. In order to reel it back in, you just turn this whole section, which is the reel section, or the spool section, sideways. And then you would have the line in your hand, and you just reel it around. Now, one of the guys in the forum was talking about that they would have a problem setting the hook and keeping the fish on there. Well, my only thoughts on that would be, if you set the hook and you keep tension on it, in order to reel it in, what you would do is you'd pull the line, and you could hold it with your index finger in place while you spooled it up. So that way you don't lose tension on there. But you'd have to practice with that in order to get it to work. But there it is. And sorry about the tangled mess there. I don't know how that happened actually. So anyways, I'll catch you guys later. Thanks for joining the forum. Thanks for all your views on here. And we'll see you again. Thanks.